I think I would really kick Floyd in the street fight. Wouldn't even be no match.
Any weight, any era, who would you have picked that you would have liked to fight the most?
Floyd Mayweather.
I love it.
Mike Tyson can't stand Floyd Mayweather. He hates that.
I want to fight Floyd, Mike Tyson said in a recent interview, expressing his desire to face Floyd Mayweather. Mayweather is the opponent he wants to face, he made clear. Confront the most, given the two fighters' disparate styles and weight classifications. This statement has generated a lot of curiosity in the boxing community.
You don't think there's an opportunity to land a big punch on Floyd?
Let me tell you something about Floyd. This is what I don't like about him either. No matter whatever we say about him, and it could be true, but he's in that gym. He's a rat. He retired, but he stayed in the gym. He can't help it. He don't do drugs. That's his heroin, the gym.
Someone told me this. They say he doesn't have a vice. Yeah. He doesn't have a vice.
No, he does. The gym.
The gym.
The gym.
I love it. Why?
Huh?
You want to knock him out?
Well, I would love to before him. I wish he was my weight.
All right, interesting.
In an eye-opening interview, Mike Tyson was questioned about the possibility of a bout with Floyd Mayweather and whether he thinks Mayweather's style reflects his best self. I don't think Mayweather is as formidable, and he doesn't instill the same fear in opponents as Tyson once did, Tyson said bluntly in response. This viewpoint clarifies Tyson's assessment of Mayweather's influence in the boxing community.
Oh my God.
I got a question for you. One question. I am Mike Tyson in his prime versus Money Floyd Mayweather in his prime. Who would win?
Ooh, that's a great question.
I'm probably 50 pounds heavier than Floyd, so I don't think we ever fight. You know, we could never fight. We're two.
Because we can only see that in a video game. So I wanted, I wanted to know, what's your thoughts? And also, when you see Floyd now, do he remind you of him? Do he remind you of yourself when you was rocking?
Yeah, to a certain degree, not totally, because he's not menacing. He's not a threat to the fact that he can hurt somebody.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's not that guy. You know what I mean? He's not going to hurt somebody. He's not going to go into a store and drag somebody out the store or do something ridiculous.
That you might have done.
Yeah, he's not going to do anything ridiculous like that. He's going to have somebody probably, but only because in a situation like that, when everybody loves you, you appear that everybody loves you, you don't know who really doesn't love you. You know, you're never gonna have a chance to be at peace with yourself and to know who you really are, because there's too many people talking to you. Yes, from the outside to everybody, yes, doesn't look good. Yes, doesn't look good what's going on with him right now. You know, we could all be wrong, but from what we're seeing from the outside, things don't look.
Mayweather has frequently argued that his name should be used instead of names like Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali when talking about boxing greats. Tyson responded by calling Mayweather very delusional, highlighting the fact that real greatness entails more than just performance in the ring. Tyson noted that Mayweather's dependence on security, even for everyday duties like dropping his kids off at school, stands in stark contrast to the self-reliance and public persona that define famous figures.
Ali, the same fighter that got beat by a fighter with 7 fights. Every time boxing come on, you don't bring up Muhammad Ali name. You don't bring up Mike Tyson name. You always bring up Floyd Mayweather name.
What do you think about Floyd talking about greater than Ali?
He's very delusional. If he was anywhere near that realm of greater than Ali, he'd be able to take his kids to school by himself.
There we go.
Okay, he can't take his kid to school by himself. And he talking about he's great. Greatness is not guarding yourself from the people. Greatness is being accepted by the people. He can't take his kids alone to school by himself. He's a little scared man. He's a very small, scared man.
Have viewed Mayweather's propensity to favorably compare himself to both former and current opponents as an indication of self-absorption. In addition to showcasing his bravado, this self-promotion starts conversations about respect and humility in boxing. Whether these self-references add to or diminish his legacy is still up for debate in the community.
ask you about Mike Tyson, because he was on this show just last week, and at the moment he's currently being profiled, as you'll know, on the channel Being Mike Tyson. That airs tonight as well. But on the show last week, he was talking about the fact that you're probably the last of these box office stars. You know, young guys are looking to the UFC fighters as opposed to traditional boxers, but you're probably the last of those box office stars. What do you say to that?
Well, I commend Tyson because he's one of the guys that paved the way for me to be where I'm at. You know, he's a legendary champion. And the only thing I have to say about Mike Tyson is everyone is always trying to judge Mike Tyson. He lived his life the way he wanted to live his life. No one can say what they would have done if they were in his shoes. Boxing will live on. You know, it's the Mayweather era. Not just myself, but the Mayweather brand. You know, I have my own style, and what I made cool about boxing is not taking punishment.
According to Mayweather, the contemporary boxing period is not only his own, but also the embodiment of the Mayweather brand. His impact on the sports industry is shown by this branding, which reflects his calculated approach to both financial success and in-ring competitiveness. His focus on branding demonstrates a change in the way contemporary athletes handle their public personas and careers.
Well, I commend Tyson because he's one of the guys that paved the way for me to be where I'm at. You know, he's a legendary champion. And the only thing I have to say about Mike Tyson is everyone is always trying to judge Mike Tyson. He lived his life the way he wanted to live his life. No one can say what they would have done if they were in his shoes. Boxing will live on. You know, it's the Mayweather era. Not just myself, but the Mayweather brand. You know, I have my own style, and what I made cool about boxing is not taking punishment.
Commentator Joe Rogan has offered his thoughts on the controversy surrounding the best boxers of all time, arguing that brilliance is frequently situational and contingent on the competition and conditions of each time period. Rogan's observations emphasize how the sport is dynamic and how difficult it is to compare athletes from different eras. Fans are encouraged by this viewpoint to value boxers in light of their own historical circumstances.
He's undefeated too, but he's not the greatest boxer of all time, right?
It's arguable he is. He's been hit hard maybe 4 times his whole career. You stop and think about how many fights he fought against elite guys. Not just great defense, like the best defense of all time.
Yeah. Somebody like Sugar Ray Robinson.
I think Sugar Ray Robinson had somewhere in the neighborhood of 90-plus victories before his first defeat, though. But I think Mike Tyson in his prime, when he knocked out Larry Holmes, when he starched Marvis Frazier, like when he was just smashing everybody, I think he had reached this level that you can only maintain for a certain amount of years. I think if Muhammad Ali had been in the same era as Mike Tyson, he would have been better because Mike Tyson was around. You get better depending upon who's around.
Rapper 50 Cent shed more light on the long-standing animosity between Tyson and Mayweather when he recalled how Tyson became so enraged at Mayweather's bouts that he damaged his television set. This story highlights how strongly Tyson feels about Mayweather and suggests that there may be deeper problems between the two legendary boxers.
Real shit. Mike Tyson called me. Floyd was getting ready to go to jail. We at the M Casino. Mike Tyson said, "Come here, let me talk to you for a second." 50. He pulled me outside the door. The nigga pushed the door. Then the door opened. He came outside. He said, "Yo, I used to hate that nigga." The nigga voice changed. It got deep. You know how Mike Tyson is like, yeah. He all the way up here, Tim. He all the way up here. This nigga say, yo, I used to hate that nigga.
I can't fuck with you!
I said, oh shit. Look, I'm like this. Look. So I'm sitting there going, I got to fight this nigga, right? I'm thinking I might have to fight this nigga. He said, look at this shit, 50. I'm in a fucking Cadillac, right? He pointed to a fucking Cadillac, it was the shit was fly. It was a Cadillac truck, but to Mike, the shit was some bullshit because it was a Cadillac, right? He going, look at me, 50. I'm in a fucking Cadillac. He said, yo, I broke my TV every time that nigga fought.
50. Cent also claimed that Mayweather provided financial support to a woman who had sued Tyson. In the late 1990s, 50 Cent claims that Mayweather's financial resources drove this involvement, which may have been intended to exacerbate Tyson's legal issues. If accurate, these allegations complicate the already tense relationship between the two combatants.
Mike Tyson can't stand Floyd Mayweather. He hate that. Now look at this. Look, Floyd, the illest. I love like a brother. So, the nigga's talented. He is our champion.
Yeah.
For this time period, like you watch him, praises him, all that, but he's our champion. You know what I'm saying? So look, and they're gonna do a lot of things, but they're not gonna beat.
No, they're not gonna beat. No.
Until he's too old. When he got to fight, when they finish the money and he got to take a fight, and he's too old, so he take a fight and they see it and he throw the punch, but they're late. And hit him. Start seeing 3 one time. You know what I'm saying? It start getting crazy. But look, the real. Mike told me, look, the first time this had a rape charge. Look, this the first time Mike Tyson was charged. Well, he had somebody that was claiming he raped him.
Yeah.
Floyd was paying for that bitch lawyer.
What?
At that point. He was paying for a girl to say Mike Tyson raped him.
Stop, man.
See, while you see him at this present moment, the one that would be the one that be all about the money. It's the money. It hurt him to watch Mike when he was all about the money. And he had the money.
Though Mike Tyson is 58 years old, he would still be a formidable opponent if Floyd Mayweather and Tyson were to fight today. Fans and professionals alike are still in awe of his amazing physical condition. Tyson's strength, quickness, and power are still impressive for his age, according to renowned commentator Joe Rogan, who has commended his conditioning. According to Rogan, Tyson is still among the most physically dominant retired sportsmen because of his unwavering commitment to training, which has helped him maintain much of his previous explosiveness. Respect is earned by Tyson's presence in the ring, demonstrating the durability of his renowned skill.
Against the Mike Tyson that beat Marvis Frazier. You ever watch that fight?
Yeah.
That's my favorite Mike Tyson fight because that was Mike Tyson before he won the title. It was ABC Wide World of Sports, and Joe Frazier had been talking about Tyson, that if he was in his prime, he'd beat Tyson, and so he had his son fight Tyson, and it was an execution. It was an execution.
Is that the one in Atlantic City where it lasted one round?
One round. Hey, let's watch it because it's one of my favorite fights to watch Tyson because it's Tyson in his prime where he was terrifying. He was so fast and he would do angles and he was bobbing and weaving. You couldn't hit him and he was just coming at you. And he was young. He was 20 years old at the time. He couldn't be stopped. No one had the solution. And I submit that Mike Tyson, the Mike Tyson that won the title against Trevor Berbick, the Mike Tyson that beat Larry Holmes, I think that Mike Tyson is the best heavyweight of all time. I don't think anybody with him.
Mike. Tyson's close friend and former boxer Joe Egan remembered their sparring sessions with great detail, emphasizing Tyson's unparalleled speed and strength. Tyson, he said, was a relentless force. He was one of the most formidable and powerful fighters of his time, crushing opponents with his strength and tenacity.
But I was so relaxed. Next one, I look into the ring, and Mike's pacing the ring with his shirt off. His body, his physique was incredible. His biceps, his chest, his neck, incredible. I hadn't seen him stripped to the waist. Yeah. And I'm looking, I'm thinking, that's not the same 17-year-old boy I met yesterday. That's not the same 17-year-old boy I ran with this morning. That's not the same 17-year-old boy I sat next to on the minibus getting here. Yeah. Then Cuss pointed to one of the big men to get in. He was knocked spark out. I tell people, I say it all the time, I ruined a good pair of underpants at that moment in time. I shit myself. There's no way a 17-year-old should have that power. He knocked a couple more out. I got in, I got battered for 3 minutes, got out, a couple more, got in, then I was back in again. I'd done 6 minutes with him that day. But the madness in me, George, because I do believe fighters have to have a little bit of madness in them. You know, I really do. And it's not insulting any fighter, but I just believe that there's a bit of madness in us all to fight and to want to fight. Yeah. And I believed in my mind, one day I'll get the better of you. I never did. I stayed on with him for 2 years. And it was probably the makings of me, because I took some serious punishment off that man over 2 years. He made me cry so many times. But psychologically, I believed if I could take Mike Tyson's punishment, I could take anybody's punishment, because he was such a power puncher. He used to speak to my mum on the phone regular, oh, Mrs. Egan, chatting away, and she'd say to him, oh, Mike, thank you so much for looking after my son. But he was minding me as well, even though he was battering me. He was minding me. I remember one time when Sugar Ray Leonard came to the gym. He came to the gym on 2 occasions while I was there. And Mike wanted to impress Ray Leonard because he was in awe of Sugar Ray Leonard, like a lot of fighters are.
Yeah.
And Mike savagely beat his sparring partners this day.
A similar vein, Roy Jones Jr., who fought Tyson in an exhibition match in 2020, claimed that Tyson's power is still unmatched despite his advanced age. Jones referred to him as the strongest opponent he had ever faced. These endorsements demonstrate Tyson's enduring physical supremacy and legendary skills, which are highly respected in the boxing community.
When you did the exhibition, what do you feel about Tyson when you did the exhibition with Tyson?
Mike Tyson's still the strongest puncher that I've ever been in the ring with, ever. At 55 at the time, now I think he's 57, about to be 58. He's still the strongest puncher I've ever been in the ring with. First time he hit me in my chest, I feel like a mule had kicked me in my chest. So if he hits anybody on the chin with a shot like that, they're going either out or they're going down, especially guys that are not used to being hit like that. You know what I'm saying? With the exception of people like Evander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, these guys are bigger and they can take it, but Jake Paul, I don't think he's going to be able to take that. It might hit him on the chin like that. We'll see, but it's going to be tough. He may surprise me.
Do you think that Mike Tyson was going all out with you, or do you think that he was like a sparring session? I'm noticing hard.
I think he went all out to the body. I don't think they went. They told us we better not be out there trying to take each other's head off, or they're gonna stop it. So you couldn't go out to the head, but to the body you could. And to the body, he was throwing some vicious body shots.
Wow. So Jake, I just seen Jake yesterday, and he was 230 pounds. He looked kind of big. Yeah, he was 230, right? I was like, damn, you big. Like, really big.
That can make it interesting then.
So, and then he said that he feels as fast as he was at 185 or...
Shannon Briggs, the heavyweight champion, has praised Tyson's consistent commitment to training. According to Briggs, Tyson's dedication is motivating, especially for younger fighters who see him as a role model for tenacity and self-control in combat sports. Disrespect from other athletes highlights Tyson's enduring impact on the sport.
There's got to be one thing that really separates him from the pack as boxers, not from fans.
I mean, just speed for us. If somebody's so fast that when you go to punch and they beat you to the punch, or it's dangerous. And he was just ferocious. I think a lot of times too, the fear factor going into a fight with a guy like that, nobody has seen a guy like that to that point. Here he not really fighting left-handed. He going both ways. You know what I'm saying? He was squaring up. He was doing things that you really it's hard to train for. So he was just so dangerous.
That's why I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna beat you with speed.
Floyd Mayweather has talked about how he changed from Pretty Boy Floyd, who was renowned for his quickness and unrelenting workouts, to Money Mayweather, who is wise and focused on the business side of boxing. His flexibility and awareness of the complex structure of the sport are evident in this development.
Pretty Boy Floyd compared to Money Mayweather, two different fighters. Because when I need to hear this. Pretty Boy Floyd, I was active, fighting all the time, every couple months. So I stay in the gym, I stay fighting, I'm in the flow. So I could throw punches, tear a motherfucker ass up. Then when I got older, I'm still wise. I still can tear your ass up, but in a different way.
Right.
So
still winning the fight,
but
too.
you got to stay in the
strategy.
flow. Right. You have to stay in the flow.
In his career, Floyd Mayweather was renowned for his speed and aggressive style. Yet as he grew older, he progressively changed into a more defensive fighter, according to Joe Rogan. He was able to increase his domination in the sport as a result of this transition, which involved both physical and strategic modifications. Mayweather's flexibility allowed him to stay unbeaten by depending more on defensive skill and accurate counterpunching than on raw strength and speed. Rogan underlined that this change demonstrates Mayweather's strong boxing IQ and comprehension of longevity in the sport, demonstrating his excellence throughout his career.
One of the